Hi everyone, Laura Shadows here, as you can see, to give you a small teeny tiny update before the official, discussion video, wherever I have first, to begin. So basically, overall, you already saw in my YouTube channel that in the past 2 weeks, I didn't do shit. And the explanation is, college. For me, like every one of you, college comes first. And, I had in the past 2 weeks, I had these 4, exams coming along and everything, so I had to study. And now, thankfully enough, I finished all of them, so I have a little bit, much more time to do my, usual videos before the next exams, begin. So, all I wish to say is that I'm truly, truly sorry, about the videos and everything that I didn't do, and heck, like I said, I was really busy. So, I'm hoping that all of you viewers or my subscribers will forgive me and everything. So, with all being said, let's just begin with this discussion. Oh, and by the way, just to let you know, on all the video that I had to do in the past 2 weeks, I'm gonna put this update video at the beginning before the usual, discussion video, begins. So, just to let you know. So, with all being said, let's begin. So, before I start this chapter review and everything about chapter 824, I just only have one question. That girl, Charlotte Purin, from the ending of the chapter, is that the three-eyed girl? I'm just saying because the design is so very, almost identical of the three-eyed girl. So I'm just asking. So I'm just asking if that is the three-eyed girl that we saw in Fishman Island. When Big Mom was pissed off about the cannon at the Fishman Island and everything, all that story. But I'm really interested to see who the hell is this girl. Or even if she looks like that. You heard me. If she really looks like that. But we'll get to that, so basically, overall, this chapter was crazy. Was so crazy. Not only we have so much big revelations, but also we have one word. Kaido. We have him in this chapter. We have Kaido in this chapter, and frankly enough, honestly enough, when I read this chapter, when I saw Kaido and his part, when he was talking about the Straw Hats and everything, until we sing as the ski at the end, and talking about the pirate games and everything, that part where Kaido was, that was my favorite part of the chapter. My favorite part. But before we go to that part, I just go from the beginning to the end, okay? So, at the beginning of the chapter, we have the comedy and shocking part, where Luffy finally, after all his life, finds out who his father really is. Even if Monkey D. Garp, his grandpa, told him in Water 7, even if he told him that Dragon is the revolutionary from the Revolutionary Army, is he's his father, the leader of the Revolutionary Army. Even then, he was said, he didn't give a shit. He was just said, Robin, who is this guy? Because in this chapter, after all this time, he was a lot more worried for Sabo than his own father, or even find out who he really is, because the only thing he says about his father is that he was by shocking, when he was shocked up, he said this guy is my father? He doesn't even look like me. He doesn't even look alike, and everything. That's the only things he said about his father. That's the only thing, because like I said, he was much more concerned about Sabo than his own father. And the other thing is, we find out about it is that, like I said before, Blackbeard Pirates say, Sorry, I had to do it. Wee! Because of him. Jesus fucking Burgess. Because of him, the Blackbeard Pirates destroyed Baltigo. Like I said in the previous chapter in the end, Blackbeard Pirates destroyed the Revolutionary Army headquarters, Baltico. And because of that, since the paper didn't make any mention of them or what happened to them and everything, the Federal Revolutionary Army for now remains unknown. Which most definitely, I definitely can predict that they're alive. And somewhere in some kind of other Revolutionary Army headquarters or something, or in hiding or something, because from now on, things will not go so much lightly for the Revolutionary Army, because after what the Blackbeard Pirates did, even in one time, Nami was wondering why the hell the Blackbeard Pirates, went there. And if a lot of you doesn't know that, if you remember from the chapter when Jesus Burgess called them, Blackbeard appears that for a long time he was aiming for the Revolutionary Army, to go there to defeat them and to get some kind of weapons from them, something like that. I remember it was something like that. Because if I know that these weapons was something connected with the Dressrosa and everything. I think he was talking about those weapons or something. But whatever it is, Blackbeard wanted to take from the Russian army some kind of weapons. We don't know what, we don't know which weapons, but you get the idea. And the one thing I really want Eiichiro to show. Because look, all that I believe that Oda is not needed to leave that some kind of big event like that off screen. Because it has to be some kind of flashback to see what kind of fight between Dragon and Blackbeard was. I really want to find out what kind of battle it was, because I believe it was really huge battle. Because look, if you remember, like I said in the previous chapter, Dragon was not alone, alongside Koala, Hack, and Sabo and Ivanko. Of course, I think even Inazuma was there. He wasn't also alone. He also gathered all other main, higher-ranking officers, leaders of the Revolutionary Army. He gathered around. So he wasn't alone. So like I said, he's supposed to be. I suppose it has to be some. It was some very huge battle, really huge. And I want to know what the fuck happened there. I want to know. I wonder what the fuck happened there. That's the other thing. The other thing we find out is that it appears like the Marines and Cyberpol arrived at Baltico after it was destroyed by the Blackbeard Pirates. It appears like the Kurohige's gang flew the coops before they arrived. So I suppose that the picture beside Dragon has to be Rob Lucci. I mean, I'm just saying. So if Cyberpol is involved, or more specifically, if CP0 is involved in that, then it has to be that picture has to be Rob Lucci. It has to be Rob Lucci. Also, not only about that. When it comes to Thousand Sunny, also we get the Abomination treat, or should I say, Luffy's special carry that he prepared for the strides and everything. Of course, like I said, it was Abomination, because everybody was dripping hard, just seeing what the hell, kind of monstrosity of food Luffy went and everything, and even he went even too far when he was cooking. He went too far. He blown up the kitchen. He blown up the top of the ship when he was preparing the food, and thanks to the rain and everything, it went away. And of course, even Luffy fixed the roof and everything. But that part, oh my god! I mean, seeing the expression in their face when they saw the food what Luffy was preparing for them and everything. I mean, it was so funny, and thanks to him, because, after so much times, he told Nami that he screwed up. He used all the food, all the supplies, so now they have nothing. The only thing they have is that monstrosity of the abomination of food, of carry, that Luffy prepared. So they're not really in a high risk, to starve to death, really, because the one thing we know is that Sanji is screaming, "Sanji, help us!" because they don't have any food. Luffy screwed up, But before it came to the other part, I just only wish to say a few things all about the newspapers and everything, because look, like I said in the previous chapter, it says nothing about Dragon being captured or being dead or even for Sabo. He only says about Baltico, and like I said before, the fate of the Russian army remains unknown. But the one thing we all certain that they're alive. The only question is where, and what they're doing. Because the way how I see it, they're in hiding. Because what the Blackbeard Pirates did, and the Marines and the others, and the government finds out about Baltico, I believe they're not on a very I believe they're not on a very balanced, way. Let's put it that way. They're not so much. They're not so much freely to do their own things and everything. So I believe, like I said, the Revolutionary Army are in hiding somewhere around the New World. Because the one thing I also mentioned is that I don't even believe that Baltico is the main HQ of the Revolutionary Army. I believe that the Baltico is like the Marines have, like G8, G13, G5, the base. I believe Baltico was one of the Revolutionary Army bases, and they're like, when Bloody Pirates arrived, they left, and they went to another base or something like that. I don't know. We'll see. I'm just jumping to conclusions right now. The one thing is that Inuarashi. Also, the one thing we find out in this chapter is Inuarashi suspected the Beast Pirates had a Viper card that lead them to Zou. But the question is, who gave them the Viper card? How the hell they found out the Zou? And one thing mentioning Zou. But it appears like Carrot bought Barrett's trust with a bunch of bananas, because when Wanda and Barrett was talking, like what the hell Carrot is and everything, she said, I finally figured out. She gave you a bunch of bananas so you can keep your mouth shut and everything. He was like, oh, I'm sorry. She told me, like, it was promising. Because even if Carrot said that that Wanda's gonna be angry and everything, it appears like when she finds out that the Strongs are with them and everything, Wanda is taking it remarkably well. Yeah, she's taking this remarkably well, And now after because like I said, we have a little bit few moments Zou, and then then comes the crazy part. Before it came to Kaido, Jack is shown to have survived Zunisha's attack, and where he is right now is at the bottom of the sea, whether or not the rest of should I say he's landed on what is left of his mammoth ship, and a lot of people are wondering because you can fully see his face right now. They're wondering because it appears like Jack seems to be able to survive on the water for extended periods of time through unknown means, but he's immobilized to being a Delphi user. When I saw the first time his face, with he had this sharp teeth and everything, and I have to say that his design reminded me a lot of Holy Jones from the Fishman Island. After he was he transformed because of the energy steroids and everything. It reminded me a lot of him. But if I'm not mistaken, if that is true, I believe that Jack is a fishman. Because look, he has horn. Because when you saw his sharp teeth, and he's still alive on the water, think about it. Just think about it. If he has horns, then he has to be something like Dellinger, something like a relative of the fighting fish or something like that. Because if he's a fishman, then it proves my theory that I had since Fishman Island because of Vanderdecken. Because just remember, when Vanderdecken had his Mato Nomi, his Mark fruit, all the time he was surrounded by this bubble. He was not in the water. He was not in the water. All the time he was floating in the water. He was in this bubble. So I was thinking, and thanks to Jack, if he's a fishman, then proves my theory, what I had about the fishman. Because my theory was, if in the way how I see it, because a normal user, Delphi user, when they go to water, when they fall into water, they can't swim. They drown like stones and they die because of drowning. But a fishman, if he eats a devil fruit, in the way how I see it, in the explanation, because if Jack is a fishman, like I said, it confirms my theory. If Jack is a fishman, and in the way I say, if a fishman eats a devil fruit, because they're fishmen, they can survive underwater, but they can't move. And if Jack is a fishman, that can prove my theory correct. Because, like I said, if a fishman eats a devil fruit, in the way how I see it, they can live underwater, but they can't move. So that will also explain why Vanderdecken was all in the bubble all the time. That will explain it. If Jack is a fishman, But if he will be a fisherman, I do believe he is some kind of fighting fish related or something like that. Because the fishermen who have horns are only the ones who are related with the fighting fish. You know. So for now, I'm going to maybe jump to conclusions right now. But for now, I believe that Jack is a fisherman, and that fisherman who has devil fruits can be alive in the water, but they can't move. So for now, I believe Jack is a fisherman. For now, I'm just saying. Maybe I'm wrong. So with all being said, let's go now to the other crazy part. In this chapter, we also have another old face, the Yonko Kaido. And in this chapter, I was really shocked. Because I was really shocked and scared at the same time. Because it appears like that even if Kaido, because in the beginning of his scene, we saw Kaido crying, or in short terms being devastated by the lack of freaking increase of the gifters group's numbers after Doflamingo's defeat. Because it appears like the gifters, that the special team that the Beast Pirates have, are the Smile Dofre users. You know, that Caesar Clown creates them and gives them Doflamingo, and then Doflamingo sells them to Kaido. So that's one relation we have, like, confirmed. The gifters are created through the use of Smile's, Zoan type devil fruits. And the one thing also in this chapter we find out, it's Kaido's eyes. And believe me, that scene when he was pissed off, saying like just, who the hell do you think I am, trust me. If you read the chapter, if you see Kaido's face, but trust me, his face is gonna give you a lot of chills and goosebumps. Because Kaido, not only in the way how he looks like, he's a true monstrosity. Mostly when you see his eyes, And the one thing also we find about Kaido in this chapter is that he, as a weapon, he has some kind of a big gigantic mace, And can I be open with you? When I saw Kaido with the mace, I said to myself, the only thing, because try to think about it, he has a mace. He's gigantic. The only thing that's left of him right now is saying, "Fee, fi, fo, fum. I smell the blood of a Strat." Sorry, I had to say it. No, really reminds me of the kind of type of giant that is in the Jack and the Beanstalk story. I mean, it reminds me a lot of him, But believe, just imagine if Kaido really said those things, like a true giant, fee, fi, fo, fum. Just imagine if he truly will say that, I know a lot of you will think that this is gonna sound pathetic, but just for crying out loud, a little bit of like imagination doesn't hurt, Well, whatever. The one thing really surprised me also with it is Kaido is that he's so, he's really, he's so emotional. Even he was drunk, while drinking sake and everything. The one thing that really surprised me is that he was so emotional, because in this chapter, not only because he was drunk, but also it appears like he was so emotional, not only because he's not gonna have any more smiles, but it appears like that he was also emotional. Correct me if I'm wrong. It appears like in that way I can see that Kaido is somehow cares about his crew. I mean that's the way how I see it. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he's only devastated because he will not have any more smiles and everything. But the one thing I was really surprised is when those two crew members are showing the poster of the Straw Hat Luffy and Trafalgar Law, from emotionally drunk Kaido, he become extremely violent drunk Kaido. We just one hit his mace, gigantic mace. He hit not only just the posters, but also the two crew members, and phew, right across the wall, flying away from the island. With that, you can see that Kaido is so pissed. Even if he's drunk, he's so pissed. Just saying just thinking oh really, Trafalgar Law and Luffy, really, yeah, I heard that. They belong to the worst generation and everything, The thing, he was just looking at them and just saying, just because they defeat Shichibukai or two, they think they're like the man. They think like, there's something, eh? Well, like this will change, because this will change. Because in a way how Kaido said, because now they defeat Caesar, destroy SAD, destroy the Smile Factory, defeat the Flamingo. Now, like everybody knows from a very long time, they pissed off Kaido. They pissed off a Yonko. Kaido, the strongest creature in the world, and he said that for now they play a little pirate games, but from this day on, things will get real. Even if Kaido was drunk, he was so pissed. He said, "From now you two little brats play little pirate games, but after this day, you can easily tell them, Captain Eustass Kid, that from now on, things will get seriously." And why I mentioned Eustass Kid, because if you remember the chapter when Scratchman Apple was talking to Kaido through Addendum Mushi, and congratulations, every one of you who suspected that that little scene when you can see that was Eustass Kid's leg, he was in prison. Well done. I mean, congratulations to everyone who noticed that, and they were right. Congratulations. Well done. Well done. So, I mean, when I saw Eustass Kid, I mean, not only he was imprisoned, he was Kaido's prisoner, but also he was so fucked up by Kaido. I mean, a lot of people said that if Kid is dead, but the one thing that I see in this chapter is that I believe that Eustass Kid, first of all, I don't believe he's dead. Oda, like I said, first of all, he said he doesn't like kill his characters. But the one thing is, Eustass Kid will play a very important role against Kaido. So one thing I have predictions for Kid is that he's gonna join Luffy and Law Alliance. I do believe, because remember, when we find out Scratchman Appu was under the command of Kaido, so I'm not so serious about. I mean, look, we only have Eustass Kid in prison. It doesn't mean that even Killer, is on his side, because for now I'm thinking, what happened to Basil Hawkins and Killer? Because if Scratchman Appu was working for him, so what if forcefully even Basil Hawkins and Killer are working with Kaido? I'm just saying, because everybody knows that Eustass Kid doesn't like to be controlled by anyone. He doesn't like that. He wants to be free, he wants to do his own shit, so he doesn't want to be controlled by anyone. And I do believe that why Kid is fucked up, because he didn't want to be under Kaido's influence. So that's why I do believe Kaido, as you can see, Kaido really fucked him up. And one more thing, Kid is not dead. Kid is not dead. He's alive, but just severely, badly injured. Or should I say damaged. The one thing, I really have, and the one thing is really about Kaido really surprised me is to see him drunk, seemingly so much emotional, about the failure, about, like his dream being broken, and if I'm correct, even also emotional about his crew, and then seeing him pissed off and everything, and wow. I mean, we had so much, even if it was just one scene, we find out a lot about Kaido in this scene, and just seeing it Eustass Kid at the end. The one thing also I really like about this part is when you see, Eustass Kid trying to tell Law and Luffy, because when he said tell them, Captain Eustass Kid, does that mean like he's gonna let him go to Luffy and Law and warn them or something, or give him just a taste of warning for to seeing like who Kaido really is? I mean, I don't know. But the one thing I'm really liked about Kaido is when he said, for now, you brats played little pirate games, but from now on, things are gonna get really fucking serious. Because after all, they are going after Yonko, by the way, and from my opinion, the worst of all four. So before I get into the last part, I'm really happy to see Kaido. I'm really happy to see Kaido again, and this scene was, like I said, this part was my favorite part of the chapter. So just cut the story short. We now finally go to the end of the chapter. So Sanji, everyone knows, is on the route to Whole Cake Island with Big Mom's ship, and it appears like Whole Cake Island sends some kind of a warning signals over Den and Mushi to alert like they're entering Big Mom's territory, because the way we find out in the chapter, it appears like one of the territory is named Tart 23 or something like that, because in the way. Oh, and by the way, Baron Tamago. I'm really happy to see this guy again, and every single time we was talking about to Sanji, he always said like, s'il le plaît, soir, s'il vous plaît, he always said every single bit at the end of his words, he says some kind of French word, and that was somehow it was pretty cool. It was actually pretty cool, So overall, like I said, it appears like one of the Big Mom's territories is named Tar 23 or something, and how Baron Tamago said, if some enemy ship, went through that territory, they will be already, just like that, destroyed, And also, like I already know, it appears that Big Mom already knows that Sanji was part of the Straw Hats. He was working in the Barati restaurant in the sea, so she has some kind of big hopes for Sanji. I mean, after all, she really loves sweets, so in some sort of way, she really sees high hopes for him, as a cook, obviously. So obviously, when Vito was talking to Sanji, I think he was talking about the Barati, because after all, if Big Mom knows that he was working in the Barati, so somehow, it makes sense, somehow it makes an idea what, Vito was whispering to his ear. Something like that. I know. But the one thing also we find in this chapter is that Sanji he appears like he has some kind of really bad relation with his father. Because in the way how he said, I had no connections with him anymore. I saw that very clearly. I have no more any relations to my father. So it appears like that Sanji. So in that way, you can see that Sanji left his family in a very sour, bad note. So maybe they will explain why he was on the ship. Maybe he was escaping from them and everything. I don't know. We'll see. Also, one thing we also remember is that it appears like the Winsmoke family has some kind of group called Germa 66. When I say 66, I remind me of Star Wars. Execute Order 66. I'm just saying. It appears like they have some kind of organization named Germa 66 that is under Winsmoke family control. So, I mean, for now I don't know nothing about Germa 66, but really interesting to see what kind of organization is that. Also, in this chapter, like I said, in the end, we finally found out how Charlotte Purin really looks like. And seeing her picture, Sanji just, went crazy, like, ah! Just like Zoro predicted, if you remember in the chapter 822, just like Zoro predicted, that Sanji's gonna fall in love just like that with her, But the question is, does she really looks like that? Or number two, is that girl the free-eyed girl? Then maybe, she's hiding that third eye, with her hair and everything, because really, her design really like I said, reminds me of her. So the question is she really the free-eyed girl, or is that for real Charlotte Purin that only has some kind of design resemblance to her, or even is Charlotte Purin looking like that for real? Because maybe that's the picture how she looked like before. Maybe she looks really gross now, or maybe that's the picture of the free-eyed girl and Charlotte Purin is looking something like us. Maybe something like Lola. I don't know. We'll see. But for now, that's the entire chapter. And overall, this chapter was so crazy, so big, so much revelation, so much comedy, and I'm really excited to see Kaido again. And believe me, seeing with his full eyes that when he was so pissed, that look gives me a chill, because from now on, Kaido is playing for real. Kaido is playing a real game, a serious one against the Straw Hat and Luffy, because from now on, they are on the very hot ground. That's all I wish to say. So overall, here I am done. Read the video, comment, subscribe. First thing about Kaido. What do you think about Jack? Do you really think he's a fishman? He's a fishman. What do you think about Charlotte Purin? Do you think he's the free-eyed girl? Short terms, give me your own personal opinions and thoughts about this chapter. Drop a like, I appreciate it. Peace everyone, have an awesome rest of the day. Lord Charles, as always, signing off. See you next time.